Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you for the support you are granting this platform. As I always say, if you're watching this platform for the first time and you haven't subscribed, kindly make sure you click the subscribe button and remember to turn on your notification bell. I'm yearning for a day in Kenya when a police officer will be taken into account and be sentenced for innocent killings. Since William Ruto took power, there has been numerous instances. There has been concrete evidence, including videos that can authenticate the witnesses. I'm yearning for a day when such officers will not be transferred, will not be interdicted, but they will be subjected to personal responsibility. The only way we can clean the police force is by making sure each and every police officer, no matter the rank, carries or takes individual responsibility as a person. Even if you are the Inspector General, even if you are the Deputy Inspector General, even if you are who, if you are found in a mistake, such as innocent killings, and there is evidence, I'm yearning for a day when such police officers will be sentenced. We have several cases pending in the court as we speak that started decades ago involving police officers. Those cases are still in court. Why? Kwa sababu fulani alikuwa mdosi. Fulani alikuwa mdosi. What am I trying to say, Kakasungura? The High Court in Tanzania, according to the records from Mtwara Zone, has delivered a landmark ruling. And this landmark ruling is a lesson to East African countries, not only East Africa, but the entire Africa. It should serve as a lesson. It should serve as a marking scheme. It should serve as a reference in our courts, in our corridors of justice. What has it done? The court in Tanzania has sentenced 2 police officers to life imprisonment, or maybe to death. You know, in Kenya we have life imprisonment. I don't know Tanzania, but my document says the 2 police officers have been sentenced to death by hanging. 2 police officers. When shall we have this in Kenya? Ndugu zangu jameni, tuelezane. Ni siku gani tutapata kama haya katika taifa la Kenya? The 2 police officers are being sentenced by hanging after the court found them guilty of the murder of a prominent mineral trader, Musa Hamisi. Kenya tutafika hapa lini? Yaani maafisa wa polisi waliomuua Albert Ojwang wahukumiwa kunyongwa. Niliona katika gazeti, kuna gazeti hapa kutoka Tanzania nalopenda kulisoma, linaitwa Raia Mzalendo, na niliona taarifa kuu katika ukurasa wa nje ikisema polisi walioua mfanyabiashara Mtwara kunyongwa hadi kufa. I asked myself a question. Really? Can Africa do this? And nikasema it might be propaganda. I went to the internet to search and I verified it's indeed true. Tanzania has decided. Yeah? The convicted officers have been identified as Gilbert Kalanje, who previously held the position of District Criminal Investigation Officer, OCCID, and Charles Onyango, huyu ni Mkenya huyu, and Charles Onyango, the former officer in charge of the police station. Hapa Kenya tunawaita OCS, Officer Commanding Station. The verdict was pronounced jana tu, it was just yesterday, by Judge Mahidu Mwanga of the Dar es Salaam Zone High Court, who had been presiding over the case on behalf of the Mtwara High Court. Judge Mwanga said, and I quote, that the evidence presented before the court against the two police officers was not only sufficient, but also unequivocally proved their direct and undeniable involvement in the murder of the trader. The court is satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the two defendants, Gilbert Kalanje and Charles, these are court documents. I have to quote exactly what is written for my safety. The court is satisfied beyond any reasonable doubt that the two defendants, Gilbert Kalanje and Charles Onyango, were directly involved in the murder of Musa Hamisi. According to the law, the only penalty for this grave offense is death by hanging. Got it? Tanzania. 5 other police officers who had also been facing charges in connection with the same case were acquitted. The acquittal came after the court determined that the evidence presented against them was insufficient to secure a conviction. Ladies and gentlemen, this has drawn widespread attention, especially in Africa, because other African countries like Kenya, they fight to protect police involved in crime. We have a toothless, IPOA, Independent Police Oversight Authority, as Raila calls it, Simba Kibabaya. Hana meno. They can investigate from January to December and still continue to investigate from February to March next year. Kila wanasema is just releasing press statements. Wakiona jina ya mdosi mahali wanatoa. Muliona what happened recently. Kuna jina ya mdosi ikatolewa. Huyu mwenye ali step aside. Unamjua huyu. Huyu ali step aside akasema acha nisonge kidogo kutoka kwa meza. I'll come back after the break. And we explained stepping aside. You've heard in my previous analysis. The president himself, William Samoei Ruto, is in support of the killings by telling Kenyans to respect and support the police. We support police officers in killing our colleagues. We support police on what? We support police to kill mask vendors. We support police to kill bloggers. So Ruto must be very specific which support he requires from us to the police. Because the same police officers are the same who are killing us. So in which way do you want us to support them, Your Excellency? Ladies and gentlemen, according to reports here, mfanya biashara huyu Hamisi was killed in the year 2022 in Mtwara area in Tanzania after he was robbed of his money and valuables by the same police officers. In Kenya, when police officers are caught stealing, the government stands in their defense and says those were recovered items from robbers. Can you imagine? When police are robbing innocent traders, even on camera when they are robbing, they change tune and say, we were recovering the items from thieves. But in Tanzania, when you steal from a trader, you are sentenced by hanging. Okay, tunasema Tanzania is a rogue state. It's okay. But also, in their own capacity, they are making steps in the corridors of justice. In Kenya, as much as we have a rogue government, but at least we have the freedom of expression, which is not in Tanzania. In Tanzania, police can be convicted and sentenced by hanging, which cannot happen in Kenya. Right? But then we ask, tunauliza, we pray that one day we shall have a president who says, in my capacity, if this person has been mentioned, let investigations be conducted and the person be held liable. But hapa Kenya, God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.